Yes, the G-Speed chassis has been challenged to get it to run the way I want it to run. Yep. Okay, just gotta, yeah. There it is. Oh! Hello there, friends and RC family. My name is Alec from High Noon Hobbies, and if you're new to this channel, I very much appreciate you checking it out. I hope that you will stick around, see if this content is worth your while, and consider subscribing so that then I could say to you, if you aren't new here, welcome back to yet another Friday upload. This time we're going to be taking a look at some pretty sweet runs. These are both the Course 1 and Course 2 runs from the final Northern qualifier here for the Northern versus Southern Utah RC Crawlin Championship that is going on. The finals will be held tomorrow at Three Peaks, or just outside of Three Peaks, Utah, down near the Cedar City region. So if you're in the area, definitely want to make sure that you are there to check it out in person. Plenty of rock to crawl for everyone, not just those who qualified, but those who qualified both in the north and the south are going to be going head to head for the final championship, and we're going to see who comes out on top, if it's a northerner or a southerner. So I'm pretty excited for that. But these runs I really enjoyed. The intro gave you just a little taste, but I think that these are some really cool runs that Cameron laid down here for the final qualifying round. And well, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say in this intro beyond just thank you all for being here. I appreciate all your support. If you want to, when you get to the end of this video, if you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. And like I said before, subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. High Noon has been producing content now for a few months, more than a few months, every Friday and Sunday. So you can look out for those new videos every Friday and Sunday if you're interested in this type of content. Yes, I think that's it. I think that's all. Ooh. I think that's all I've got. Buy a patch. All right, everyone. Here we are for the Course 1 run in the G-Speed chassis. The low center of gravity chassis provided by Gabe over at G-Speed. An awesome product. If you haven't, I definitely recommend checking out one of these chassis. He's got a load of different components to go along with them, so you can really customize them and tune them out to your liking. But I know that based on these runs alone and what I've seen overall of Cameron's vehicles, these G-Speed chassis really can be tuned to perfection. If you're interested in learning more about the way that Cameron sets up his trucks, there will be a link somewhere in the corner or something like that to the truck breakdown video we did, which is the part 3 of the White Rock series of videos that we did just a little while ago. So we're getting through the bonus gate here. We had a pretty uneventful first couple of gates. This bonus gate was a nasty one, and you know, one thing that I think we've come to realize in these competitions is the factor of loose rocks, loose dirt patches and stuff like that, and how that dynamic can really play into the courses. It's interesting to see the courses change over the course of the day as more and more competitors run them. But Looks like Cameron managed to make it through that without too much issue. He used a winch there, which I think was a safe option, and you know, it's better than the idea of going back through the bonus that you just made it and accidentally tagging one of those gates, which would just wipe it out. So a -7 right out of the gate is a pretty good score to be under 2 minutes and a -7 already. We're approaching gate 3 here, which doesn't look like much from this angle. We're kind of missing the show that's happening on the driver's side there. As you can see, his front driver tire is dipping down significantly, and now we can kind of get a better look at it. He uses a reverse here, which I think is a great call to line himself back up. Really what you need to do is just skirt the edge of that overhang, and if your truck is too wide, or if you take, as we saw, just the slightly wrong approach to that ledge, that big hole just beneath the breakover is going to force your axles to want to push you, or force your rear axle to want to push you over that little chasm over to the driver's side. So well managed there. I think that the reverse was a good call, and overall, you know, still at a -6 here. Definitely better than tagging a gate, or potentially, you know, rolling over and even breaking something. So reverse was a good call. This one here, Cameron kind of stopping for a moment, pausing momentarily, because there's a bit of a confusion with that gate. There's a lot of different chalk marks. That one had to be modified right before we started driving the course, so a couple drivers, including Cameron himself, looked at that and thought that the gate was out of place, but it was not. So we are continuing onward. 5, nasty little side hill, and the planted G-Speed chassis, just making that look like a piece of cake. I believe that he is still running those J-Concept landmines as well, which are some fantastic wheels for side hilling. When you get the right foams in there, they just do absolute work. Now here, this little kind of loop-de-doo, if you will, that Cameron just performed, that was kind of a different approach he was going to take to this gate number 6. He actually bailed on that approach. He thought that approaching it from the upper side could be beneficial, which I thought was an interesting take, but he did abandoned that take before he ended up cleaning the gate 6 there the normal way. You know, I saw a lot of competitors struggle with that gate number 6 because of the way that the V-notch, or that kind of side hill V-notch type of deal, the way that it opened up on the driver's side towards the end of the gate, or as you're exiting the gate, definitely threw a lot of people off. Gate number 7 here, just a bit of a climb. Again, planted G-Speed chassis, making it look like a piece of cake. Breakover angle was nothing to worry about for the skid plates on this guy. Now we are headed into gate 7 here. This one, you really just want to stay to that driver's side. If you can keep your rear tire lined up to climb over that little nub that it provides for you, it's really not too much of a problem at all. Now, gate number 9 here, we're coming in basically the way that I've seen most competitors do it, although really that was pretty lucky. I saw many competitors try to throttle through it, which I think is probably the best option. The throttle basically avoided what just happened there for Cameron, which was, you know, if you slow crawled your way over it, you tended to kind of bounce into the dangerous territory with the cones, but managed to make it through clean, no gates there. The bonus leaves him with a -6 at a 5:08:30, so an absolutely fantastic first run from Cameron for the day. That was just warming up for this next one, and it gets pretty interesting for this one, so you'll want to stay tuned for this particular run. You know, Cameron's one of those guys that there's a bit of a crowd that forms at this point every time that he runs the courses, because people want to see his lines, and this was actually a run that I personally was just going to watch and not even film, and at the last second I decided, you know what, I think it's probably worth filming him. I already got the first run, so figured it'd be worth getting the second run here, and boy, am I glad that I got this one on film. The first gate, as we saw, nothing big whatsoever. The second gate here, however, a nasty V-notch, and the back doesn't really do it justice. You can really see how Cameron, from his angle, is really assessing how to stay in line with this V-notch. Now, Many competitors I saw actually allowed their rear axle to drop into the chasm, which basically let their bodies just slide through, especially if it had a cliffhanger body like this, where I think Cameron suffered and needed to use that reverse as he decided to try to stay high and follow that driver's side wall, which most, if not all, of the competitors that I saw tried to do that, ended up in that same circumstance where they just got really bound up. So I think that wall just didn't play nice. It was at just the wrong angle to want to follow it all the way through. You wanted to follow it most of the way through on the driver's side and then let your vehicle drop off at the very end. And the bigger the body, the longer you had to wait to allow the vehicle to drop off. But Cameron, going through that with just a single reverse, I think no big deal at all. Making 4 and 5 look like pieces of cake. The small side hill and then that climb. 5 actually gave a lot of drivers hell, but staying again to the far driver's side on that one, getting your driver's side front tire as close to that 5 gate as you possibly could before swinging the truck through the gate seemed to work well for most individuals, and Cameron executed it pretty flawlessly. This was just the safest alternative to get to this next gate here, and a nasty kind of side hill incline. But if you kept your momentum through that gate, there was quite a bit of traction, and so that was kind of the key to making it through it without much of a hitch. Now, gate number 8 here, this one was also quite interesting. Another notchy ascent with some nasty ledges that pushed your front tires in different directions via the rear axle. So in this circumstance, this is exactly the line you want to take, is just, again, squeezing by on the passenger side as far passenger as you possibly could, allowing that passenger rear wheel to climb and track and really keep the vehicle in line. Now, this is where the fun, I think, really begins. This bonus gate on this course was just an absolute monster. I think I saw 2 competitors get through this bonus gate. Excuse me. And I saw many more competitors just absolutely eat it, and this just be a giant trap gate essentially for them. So the way that Cameron approached this, I think this was his plan from the beginning: get himself lined up on the gate as best as he could and then use his G-spot. So if you're unfamiliar with that, that is essentially a winch spool on the top of the truck that allows the truck to pivot off of a winch point right on the very top of the truck, as you can see he's doing now. A very, very cool idea, and as you can see here, saves Cameron and gets him through that bonus clean. That was an absolutely incredible line through that bonus gate, just floating the rear axle all the way through. I thought that was, a bit of luck, but really some serious skill, some serious control, and really cool to watch. So thanks, Cameron, for pulling that one off for us on camera here so that we could all enjoy it after the fact. Gate 9 on this course, no biggie. You just want to watch your line through this because gate 9 was a bit loose, and as you can see, the slant of the gate wanted to push you into the cone on the passenger side as you're going through it. But as you can see, Cameron's staying really, really high on this line and not having a problem. Now he's swinging himself around here, and I thought, what are you doing? But he's taking this last line at a reverse. Now most people, I will just say, I will caveat, most people hit this gate 10. And here we can see Cameron going through, and the idea there was he would be able to swing his front end around with the rear or with the front tires, using it like a rear steer vehicle. I thought that was a really cool idea, and obviously didn't work out there. But in terms of creativity, I got to give that one a 10 out of 10. Cameron absolutely killed it on that final line, trying to get through it in a very creative way. And although it didn't work out for him, I think it was still very impressive. Both of those scores, very impressive scores. If you can score in our courses under like 10 or 20 points on these 10 gates, not even overall, per course, if you can score 10, 20 points, you're definitely in a competitive place. So the fact that Cameron is putting down negative scores on these runs, it's pretty dang impressive. So I think he left off there. It's off my screen at this point, but I think he left off overall with a +1 in this entire day in class 2, which is just blows me away. But I hope that you guys enjoyed these runs. I definitely enjoyed watching them. I learned a lot. I learn a lot every single time Cameron throws down a run. I think that he's a very, very good driver. And if you want proof that it's all in the driving and it's really less so in the rig tuning, I mean, obviously, rig tuning matters and caring about your rig tuning matters. But if you want to see exactly what Cameron runs and you can try to recreate it yourself and get as close to his driving as you possibly can without being Cameron and having that driving ability, maybe do, maybe don't. But you can check out that video that I referenced at the start of this video, which talks about his builds, and we break them down and go through them together. And I kind of ask a few questions that were burning in my mind, and I hope that maybe that can provide some additional insight for you there. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, if you got here, you're at the end of the video. So if you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this every Friday and Sunday, subscribe to High Noon Hobby for more videos like this every Friday and Sunday. And until the next upload, which will be this Sunday, we'll see you next time. Enjoy wheeling on trails, you know, doing little wheelie things. You know, it's a good time. If you don't do it, I would recommend it. It's a good time. All right. Cheers.